For my data-driven decision-making project, a software company is having to decrease expenses due to a new budget they implemented. In order to figure out what expense would have a smaller impact on the company's profitability, I found public data and used financial reports to see the expenses and the net income. For Apple, Microsoft, and Google for the years 2022, 2023, and 2024. I calculated the expense to ratio income for both research and development expense and selling and general and administrative expenses. I also calculated the means for all the three companies for the 3-year data. That was the main data that was compared for this decision. The data shows that research and development expenses have a bigger ratio to net income by 4% in the Apple company and by 2% in the Google company. But in Microsoft, selling and general administrative expenses have a larger ratio to net income by 4%. In conclusion, research and development has a larger impact on profitability. Therefore, decreasing the other expense, which is selling and general and administrative expenses, would be better for the software company, since the ratios are smaller. It is also important to mention that even though it is larger, they don't have that big of a difference between the two types of expenses and the ratio that was calculated. Also, a large change to either of them could potentially impact profitability in both a negative and positive way. It is important to use data in this decision because not doing so and taking a guess could potentially cause the company to lose money and decrease its profitability. As we can see in the graph, it shows the expense and ratio comparison graph. It shows how the ratio for Apple is greater and the research and development, as well as the one for Google and research and development, the blue one, it's higher compared to the selling and general administrative. And in the Microsoft, it shows the orange, which is the selling and general administrative ratio, to be higher at 35 than the research and development. And then here the expense to net income graph, it shows each expense compared to the overall net income for each Apple, Microsoft, and Google.